Oh, what a crazy past couple days. Insanity. So, my youngest, relatively speaking, she's the youngest of my three dogs. Um, she had surgery and then um, I just, the surgery went fine. But yesterday, around, geez, I don't even remember what time anymore. My brain's fried. she she couldn't keep anything down. She threw up her breakfast, and so it's this is, oh well. She's good now. She's good now. Took her today. It was her last freaking pill of her antibiotics that they gave because she had the surgery. Her stomach finally said, "Screw you, I'm done." And that's what it was. So I took her today. They gave her a shot, and now I just need her to actually drink some water. Might be helpful. So, yeah, she's right here. So she's doing better. She's doing better. And thank you, Jesus. Sutures come out on Monday afternoon. So I'm a happy camper. And she'll be a happy camper once they're gone, because then she can be let outside without being on the leash. She's my runner and she hates it. Right, Pep? I got an ear twitch. That's it. So I hope everybody's been doing well. That's the newsy stuff for me. The last few days. Still working on getting the house prepped and looking badass. And that's about it. Working on the house. Start school 1 May. And yep, that's it for me. So I hope everybody's having a fantastic spring, beginning of spring. It's not quite there yet. And right now we're in the false spring that we get here, that it was like 70s and all that earlier this week, and now it's going to be 25 tonight. Yikes. So yeah, there's that. I've got some stuff for everybody that I wanted to share. And first one's going to be Burden's. He dropped a new one 6 days ago, and you guys probably, if you were there, would remember I mentioned it last week on the last live. So, and he did drop it the next day. It was perfect, because I couldn't remember the date at the time. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at Burden's new one.
In the days I wanted to die, we ain't the same, so don't even try. I can see straight through the devil's disguise. Money and fame, no, I ain't surprised. Nothing but pain, you look at my eyes. People been praying upon my demise, been trying to change, ain't playing with life. Feel like I'm paying, but don't know the price.
I come from a place, when you come up, them people hate. When your best friend become a snake, and if that life ain't got no breaks. Yeah, I come from a town where trouble's all that I found here. And every time
Okay, that visual kind of spun me around a little bit, literally. My eyes went woo.
When you come up, them people hate. When your best friend become a snake, and if that life ain't got no breaks. Yeah, I come from a town where trouble's all that I found here. And every time that I look around, there's people trying to pull me down. Yeah, I come from a...
He is so right, and I've seen so much people saying so much crap. Why do people have to be so friggin' rude? Evil. Disgusting. I hate that. But Let's continue.
Down here, and every time that I look around, there's people trying to pull me down, yeah. I come from a place where you cannot show no love, and it's hard to keep your faith, but we still pray to up above. I come from a place where people feel like they stuck. I fall down, but that's okay. I got the strength to get back up. Yeah, I'm finding
Nice. That was, I like that. Those are bars.
I fall down, but that's okay. I got the strength to get back up. Yeah, I'm finding goofy that you ain't believing me. Bro, I'm the truth, that ain't nobody seeing me. Better bring shooters, cause you ain't defeating me. Make all these moves, they be thinking it's three of me. Change up the scenery, fly to your city, take care of some business. Just slide some kitty. Left hand got a throw in the right, got a titty. I'm up in them thighs, go deep when I hit it. I finish with playing these games, baby. I won't compete with these.
His visuals are always so freaking sick.
And it's three of me, change up the scenery, fly to your city, take care of some business, just slide some kitty. Left hand got a throw in the right, got a titty. I'm up in them thighs, go deep when I hit it. I finish with playing these games, baby. I won't compete with these names, baby. Hating on me and it's strange, crazy. Don't let them see where I stay and get shady. Look, I don't know nobody, I ain't seen nothing, dog. In the club in the streets, if you speak, they dumping. Ain't no such thing as a fair fade these days, man. Try to throw hands, they jumping. Lucifer seek me, it's driving me crazy. I'm used to these people not liking me, hating me. Public enemy, ain't none of this strange to me. Call me a killer, but I do not claim to be. It's all the same to me. Waited so patiently by to attack, and I know you afraid of me trying to chill. If I gotta ride for real, I die about it. I go from
Damn. That was I don't know where the hell he got some breathing in, but holy shit. That was fun.
Enemy, ain't none of this strange to me. Call me a killer, but I do not claim to be. It's all the same to me. Waited so patiently by to attack, and I know you afraid of me trying to chill. If I gotta ride for real, I die about it. I come from a place when you come up, them people hate. When your best friend become a snake, and the fast life ain't got no breaks. Yeah, I come from a town where trouble's all that I found. Yeah, and every time that I look around, there's people trying to pull me down. Yeah, I come from a place where you cannot show no love, and it's hard to keep your faith, but we still pray to up above. I come from a place where people feel like they stuck. I fall down, but that's okay. I got the strength to get back up. Y'all must have forgot what I got from the dirt. Trunk full of work and a big body murder. I don't do fronts, I'ma need the cash first. I don't do love, homie, love get you hurt. And whatever they talking, don't bother.
Oh yeah, I don't do love, homie. Love gets you hurt. No shit. Absolutely right.
Get back up, get back up. Y'all must have forgot what I got from the dirt. Trunk full of work and a big body murder. I don't do fronts, I'ma need the cash first. I don't do love, homie, love get you hurt. And whatever they talking, don't bother me. Often the monster inside of me trying to get out of me. Check my anatomy, we ain't the same. He be afraid if he seen in my brain. Can't stop now, knee deep in the game. No rest for the wicked, I sleep in the grave. Christian is weight, gotta keep me in shape. I'm grinding, I'm trying to get a feature from Drake. Keeping the fake like I keep marijuana. I'm in California, I'm wanted in Florida. Welcome to Murder Road, I got a warrant. I got an open case, I got a lawyer. Most of these rappers just lying, you corner. You meet them in person and learn that they born. Can't ride with that banger, so I ain't been torn. I love waking up to some brain in the morning. Tell them I'm back and I'm better than ever. Better get back and your head will get severed. Plain an attack and you get a vendetta. You ever come at me, you get the Beretta. I come from a place when you come up, them people hate. When your best friend become a snake, and the fast life ain't got no breaks. Yeah, I come from a town where trouble's all that I found. Yeah, and every time that I look around, there's people trying to pull me down. Yeah, I come from a place where you cannot show no love, and it's hard to keep your faith, but we still pray to up above. I come from a place where people feel like they stuck. I fall down, but that's okay. I got the strength to get back up. Get back up.
Okay, so that was frigging awesome. I can't get over how his visuals are always so friggin'. Whoever does his, I think the name came up in the beginning, but whoever does his videos is freaking amazing. And I gotta admit, didn't like the whole spinning thing, because, yeah, made my eyes go weird. But that was sick. Love it. Hey, comics! Any band! Yes, people suck. People suck. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. People nowadays suck. So, all you can do is ignore them or give them shit. I don't know. I just ignore them and I try not to even bother. Queenie. comics. Spin me right. I love that song. Now it's going to be stuck in my head. But Light, that was a Freudian slip on that B-U-T light, because it's ass. From what I've been told, because I don't drink beer, I don't drink at all, and from what I've been told, it tastes like piss water, I think was what the person said. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what they said. I gotta admit, that's friggin' funny. That is, why would you drink something that tastes like that? All right, so Vivek Ramaswamy owned frickin' Don Lemon in the face, big time, and holy crap, you guys, we gotta take a peek at this, because I like seeing Don Lemon put in his place, because he is the biggest frickin' liar, fake, oppressed millionaire. It's just, I mean, why friggin' bother, man? Just shut up. Besides, Morgan Freeman told him he doesn't want to be called an African American. He's an American. He told him right to his face, don't call me that. I don't want a Black History Month. That's insulting. Oh, man. I should have brought that. I should have scheduled to do that video today, because that video was awesome.
Joining us now, a frequent guest on Fox News, Republican presidential candidate and tech entrepreneur, Vivek Ramaswamy. So we are happy to have you on. I'm going to talk to you more than just about Fox News, but good morning to you. Thank you for joining us.
Glad to be
here. What do you
Hi.
make of this decision to settle this case?
I mean, it strikes me as a cost of doing business. If you're going to be a news network, I think it's happened to CNN. I think it's happened to a lot of news networks.
That has not happened to
doing
CNN.
That
business.
has not happened to CNN. This is
Never been sued for defamation. Never been actually settled.
This is the largest
It's definitely
in
large,
history.
and Fox appears to have the largest viewership and the market capitalization. So I'm not familiar with the details of this case. I'm actually more interested in issues relating to this country than disputes with media companies. But I will say that it strikes me that from
But you're not
CNN
familiar,
to Fox
honest,
News.
you're not familiar with the case. You're not familiar with the lies about the 2020 election, about the election being stolen, that Dominion was somehow, fixing the votes. I mean, that's why they $787.5 million. You're not familiar with that? And you're running for president?
The details of a private dispute between a commercial dispute and the details of what the dollar figures are, that's not where I spend. That's really not where I spend my time. But what I will say is, look, there's defamation cases. People settle businesses. If you settle business disputes, Fox settled this one. It's actually not, I think, the pressing issue for the nation of what Fox News' settlement is.
And he's not wrong. Why did they slam him right off the bat with that? I have to admit, this is the first time I've seen him interacting with assholes. And he's owning them in the face. It's freaking glorious.
I disagree with that, because as you just admitted, you said Fox is the largest viewership, one of the largest viewerships among television networks, and especially cable networks, considering the eyes, the American people who are tuning in to Fox News to get their information and to get it accurately. I'm surprised that you would say that you're not concerned about this, and this is not something that is hugely pressing for the American people.
Here's the way I look at it.
Freedom of the press is the First Amendment in the Constitution.
Jackass.
Oh, exactly. You nailed it. The freedom of the press. So we have CNN, we have Fox. I'm here with you guys. I go on Fox News. I think that's great that we have a marketplace of ideas in this country. What I worry more about, Don, is the trend that we see in this country to controlling what different parties are actually able to say.
Bam.
The American way to bad speech is more speech. And so I think we need to actually embrace that culture and a more diverse marketplace of ideas. That's something we haven't done well enough in this country.
Again, he didn't let Vivek finish talking, and he cuts him off. And that's just unprofessional. I'll just leave it at that.
Honesty, you're not answering the question. You're giving us platitudes about...
I'm actually unsure what your question is, Don. Do you want somebody to bash Fox News on CNN?
No, I'm not asking you to bash
then I'd be happy to
I'm
do
not
that.
asking you to bash
Actually,
Fox News. I'm asking you to be honest about what happened on Fox News, about the lies that were told, and them having to admit the lies and paying the largest defamation settlement to a media company in history, and you are a frequent guest on that network. Are you concerned about the credibility? Are you going to continue to go on that network even with those credibility?
I have far more concerns with the credibility of what we will call the mainstream media than I do with the credibility of Fox News. But
Fox is the mainstream media.
At the end of the day, what I say is, look, neither you nor I know the details because they settled it before it went to trial. I think the obsession over this is a little weird.
Vivek, listen,
it's a little bizarre.
I don't want to get into that.
There's real issues to talk about.
Again, with the fucking interrupting. Shut the
country. Why are we talking about Fox News and the settlement?
This is a very
valid question. Why are we talking about Fox's business, the settlement? There's no freaking point to it. They just brought him on there to try and steamroll him, and he turned it around and steamrolled them. I love it.
There's real issues to talk about in the country. Why are we talking about Fox News and the settlement?
This is a very big and important story. And I'm not going to, we have much more that we want to talk
I think we should.
About, but we will get there when we're ready to get there. We have you on to talk about these issues. This is a very important issue and it should not be downplayed. This has to do with.
It is not an important issue either. It's not. Whoop-de-doo. Fox News paid some money because Dominion was pissed off. And instead of it going to trial or whatever else was next, they just settled to just wash their hands of it, be done with it, and move on. That's what this was. But instead, they bring Vivek on here, and Don Lemon, he just...
American democracy and Americans learning the truth about what happened in the 2020 election.
You want to know what?
You don't think that's important?
I hear a lot about
comparing it to CNN is not this apples and oranges. It's not the same thing.
Well, it's different networks. Yes, apples aren't the same as oranges. You get one view through CNN, you get a different view through Fox News. I think that's good in our marketplace of ideas is that we have media that offers diverse perspectives. And you want to talk about threats to our democracy? One of the threats, and that phrase is an interesting one, threats to our democracy. I think one of the biggest ones is the chilling effect on speech in our country more broadly.
Bam!
Where if somebody says something that a broad segment of the population or certain people in the government disagree with, there's an increasing trend in our country to silence that. And the answer to bad speech and alleged misinformation is not less speech. It is more speech in the marketplace of ideas. That's actually what a free press really means.
We're going to move on, but your answer was good, but it's not about what's actually happened. It's not relevant to what's happening. I think the answer to what happened at Fox News is to tell the truth. Media companies are tasked with telling the truth. That did not happen in the situation, and that's why we're asking these questions. But let's move on.
Let's talk more about a diverse exchange of ideas. That's what I'm in for.
Yes.
Thank you.
Glad you're here this morning. Your campaign slogan is a new American dream, and I was reading through your platform last night. I wonder what you would do specifically to actually bring us together, not just Republicans and Democrats. What does unity look like to you, Vivek, for rich and poor, for rural and urban, for Republicans and Democrats?
That is the right question to be asking. And I think the main divide in this country, and I say this to conservative audiences equally, is not between Republicans and Democrats. It is between those of us who are pro-American, embracing the ideals that set this country into motion, and I think an increasing strain in this country that is anti-American, that wishes to apologize for a nation founded on those ideals. But that's not a 50-50 split. I think most people are in the pro-American camp. And Poppy, I think one of the ways they would say we get to national unity...
Wait. Poppy? Oh my God. Sorry.
I think most people are in the pro-American camp. And Poppy, I think one of the ways they would say we get to national unity, some people think is by showing up in the middle and compromising. I respect that view, but I reject it.
You reject compromise?
I reject compromising on our principles. I think that the right way to get to national unity, and I mean this, to unite
Let's hear that again.
Reject compromising on our principles. I think that the right we get to national unity, some people think is by showing up in the middle and compromising. I respect that view, but I reject it.
You reject compromise?
I reject compromising on our principles. I think that the right way to get to national unity, and I mean this, to unite this country, is by embracing actually the radicalism of the American ideals themselves. We celebrate our diversity and differences. I'm glad we have some 3 different shades of melanin on this set right now, 2 different genders. That's fine, but what I say is, so what? That diversity is meaningless unless there's something greater that binds us together, that unites us across that diversity. And I'm running for president to revive those ideals that bind us together across our diverse attributes.
I want to get into a few issues, one of them being China. Before I get to China, I just...
Oh, and before Poppy gets... Papa, I don't care if it's her name, it's stupid. I'm just saying. I'm impressed. I haven't watched this. I figured I'd watch it with y'all, and I'm glad that I did because this is freaking awesome. I only saw Benny Johnson had a short clip on of when Don Lemon got frustrated, took his glasses off, and yeah, that was I saw that and I was like, this is worth watching with you guys. Well, let's see. I don't like her tone of voice either. It's bored. It's bored and borderline condescending.
Want to better understand something you said this week speaking before the audience at the NRA. Here's what you said, referring to back to 1865. Here it was.
I want you to raise your hand if you know when the first anti-gun laws were passed in this country. Raise your hand if you do. 1865. You want to know when it happened? We fought a civil war in this country to give black Americans the equal protection under the law that we failed to secure them in 1776.
Right.
But then you want to know what happened? Southern states passed anti-gun laws that stopped black people from owning guns. The Democrat Party, then as in now, wanted to put them back in chains.
Then as in now. That's quite an...
So, that's all factual. I remember it was social studies when I was going to school, but I remember that. Hey, you. What you doing? What you doing? Easy, easy, easy. Relax. Relax. It's not time yet. It's not even 6:30 yet, okay? So stop yelling at me. Relax. No more huffing. You want to come under? You want to go under the desk? Go ahead. Go under. Sorry. His nibs is actually the ruler of the house. I just pay the mortgage. There you go. That's my boy. Good job. Good job. All right. You gonna lay down? Lie down. All right.
Wanted to put them back in chains.
Then as in now. That's quite an accusation about the current Democratic Party.
Do you guys hear that freaking condescending note in her voice? It's irritating.
Who and what were you referring to?
I was referring to Joe Biden and his expression of wanting to put them back in chains dating back to Lyndon Johnson. I think Lyndon Johnson's so-called Great Society was one of the greatest misnomers in American political history, where even back then in the 1960s, 70% plus of black kids were born into two-parent homes. Today, that number is less than 30% in the opposite direction. The very policies that we implemented in this country in the name of helping black Americans have actually been disastrous for black Americans and all Americans. And I think that that's something that we need to wake up to.
In 1865, you were talking about the black codes, right?
That's right.
Passed, enacted to make it a crime for a black person to carry a gun in the South. But
Yes, and Democrats are who did that, little Poppy. You just kind of left that part out. Just say.
Passed, enacted to make it a crime for a black person to carry a gun in the South. But you're equating that to the current president? You're referring to economic change? What are you saying?
Well, I was referring to Joe Biden's, I think, ill-chosen expression to say they're the party that wants to put you back into chains. What I'm actually saying is that if you look at the policies of the modern Democratic Party...
about Democrats.
Absolutely. So what I'm saying is that actually it's policies like that of Lyndon Johnson and Joe Biden that are actually holding black Americans back.
The war on poverty?
Yes, and in particular, his Great Society, where he actually created incentives in the family, where if you're a family, you could actually get more money by not having the father in the home. Guess what you get? You get what you pay for. And I think it's been really bad for the black community.
Bam! You get what you pay for. Nice.
Not having the father in the home. Guess what you get? You get what you pay for. And I think it's been really bad for the black community. I think it's really bad for all Americans.
Do you have anything on this before I move on to China?
I don't see what one has to do with the other, but go on. I took up a lot of time with Fox.
Oh, it's fine. We have time.
I don't really see what one has to do.
What was with the fucking hand on the arm? Oh, you poor baby. What the...
But go on. I took up a lot of time with Fox.
Oh, it's fine. We have time.
I don't really see what one has to do with the other, especially consider and using the Civil War to talk about black Americans. That war was not fought for black people to have guns. That's not...
Intentionally being obtuse is stupid. People that have a brain can see right through what this stupid little bastard's doing. Unbelievable.
Talk about black Americans. That war was not fought for black people to have guns. That's not.
That war was fought for black people to have freedoms in this country. Yeah. Actually, that's why the Civil War was fought.
Okay.
And the sad part about it.
That wasn't fought for black people to have guns. I think.
Actually, you know, funny fact is, black people did not get to enjoy the other freedoms until their Second Amendment rights were secured. And I think that that's one of the lessons that we learned.
Still aren't allowed to enjoy the freedoms.
I disagree with you on that, Don. I disagree with you. And I think you're doing a disservice to our country by failing to recognize the fact that we have equality before the law.
And you live in this country, then you can disagree with me. But we're not. You mentioned that.
Here's the little oppressed little Donnie.
You are in black skin and you live in this country, then you can disagree with me. But we're not. You mentioned that we have 3 different shades of melanin.
Don, I think we have to be able to talk about these issues in the open, regardless of the color of our skin.
Bam!
Black Americans today, to say that, compare that to 1865 and 1964,
I think for you to compare it to 1865 and
have equal
1964
rights in this country.
actually, I think it's insulting to black people. It's insulting to me as an African American. I don't want to sit there and argue with you because it's infuriating for you.
You guys, I tagged him in Twitter. Said, come on in, call me a liar. Come call me a liar and see if you... He is such a freaking tool.
To black people. It's insulting to me as an African American. I don't want to sit there and argue with you because it's infuriating for you to put those things together. It's not right. Your telling of history is wrong.
What part of the history was wrong? What part of the history was wrong?
That the Civil War was fought. You're making people think that the Civil War was fought for black people, only for black people to get guns and for black.
No, he's not. You did that. He didn't. Stupid little.
The war was fought. You're making people think that the Civil War was fought for black people, only for black people to get guns and for black people to have.
The Civil War was fought for black people in this country to get freedoms, a noble mission. And I think that
all of them.
Even after we succeeded, we had to actually secure those freedoms.
To reduce it in a speech at the NRA to say you're making people think, or you're trying to say that black people to get guns, that would.
I'm sorry, DK, that is freaking gold. Please do. Let me know how that goes. Let me know how far.
You're making people think, or you're trying to say that black people to get guns, that was the reason that you're there at the NRA. That was the reason for the Civil War.
It is a
fact. That's reductive.
It's not reductive,
I think it's insulting. There are a whole plethora of reasons that for the Civil War.
With due respect, I find your explanation reductive and actually insulting, including to black Americans, to say that black people today, compared to 1964, 1865, haven't made progress in part because of the freedoms we secured. And the Second Amendment was part of what secured that freedom.
I cannot keep a thought if you guys are talking to me in my ear. So hang on 1 second. So to say that black people, say what you said again.
Black people secured their freedoms after the Civil War. It is a historical fact, Don. Yep. Just study it. Only after their Second Amendment rights were secured.
They were not secured their freedoms after the Civil War. That is not. You are discounting Reconstruction. You're discounting a whole host of things that happened after the Civil War when it comes to African Americans, including the whole reason that the Civil Rights Movement happened is because black people did not secure their freedoms after the Civil War, and that things turned around. People tried to change the freedoms that were supposed to.
And you know how they got it? They got their Second Amendment rights, and they actually got the NRA played a big role in that. But today, Don, the
NRA did not play a big role.
They trained black Americans how to use firearms.
That's a lie. That's not. The NRA did not play a big role.
This is just.
He gets away with calling somebody a fucking liar on TV, and he's the liar. Everything this man has said is fucking factual. Every single thing. As he said. Look it up.
Absolutely, they trained black Americans how to use firearms.
That's a lie. That's not. The NRA did not play a big role.
This is just historical fact. But
not historical fact.
The part that I find,
because you say it's historical fact,
the part that I find insulting is when you say today black Americans don't have those rights after we have gone through civil rights revolution in this country.
You are sitting here telling an African American about the rights and what you find insulting about the way I live, the skin I live in every day.
Here's where you and I have a different point of view.
Black and white that black people don't have in this country, and that black people do have.
Well, here's where you and I have a different point of view. I think we should be able to express our views regardless of the color of our skin. We should have this debate.
I'm not saying you
without me regarding you as a black man,
that
but me regarding you as a fellow citizen.
That you're
That's what I think we should see.
Whatever ethnicity you are explaining to me.
Whatever ethnicity
about what it's like to be black.
Whatever ethnicity I am, I'll tell you what I am. I'm an Indian American. I'm proud of it. But I think we should have this debate. Black, white, doesn't matter.
I think we should have this debate.
The content of the ideas.
If you're going to do it, you should do it in an honest way and in a fair way. And what you're doing is not an honest and fair way. Okay? We appreciate you coming on.
With due respect, Don, I look forward to continuing that conversation. conversation.
We'll
Thank
continue
you.
the conversation.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you, Papa.
We'll talk about
shit. Okay, that was very irritating. Shiloh! Hi, Shiloh! Good to see ya. Glad you're here. The condescending note from Poppy and the plain old bald-faced bullshit from Don Lemon. That's why I don't watch CNN. I haven't watched CNN in years. I think the last time I watched CNN was when I was watching the White Bronco with that slow-ass freaking chase. The White Bronco. You know the White Bronco. I was first duty station, upstate New York. I was in a sports bar, which I would go with people just because that's what they were doing, and watching it on the freaking television. I didn't watch them for anything else after that. And that was years, it was years ago. So, no offense. Oh, plenty of offense meant, actually. Yep. Commie News Network. Yep. All right. So, you guys possibly have seen this. I'm not sure. But I want to share it because it's friggin' epic. And Benny Johnson is a fucking badass.
Tell you a story about a beer for America, or whichever country this is at the moment. Not just any beer, introducing Bud Sorry, because real Americans apologize for their mistakes. Look at this here other horse. He looks drunk as hell. That's because he's enjoying himself Bud Trans. We all need a little change in mind. Introducing Bud Bigot. A racist ass horse needs to get a little drunk sometimes. Just a big can of ass water. America. Can't we just forget that trans thing and be America's beer again? I mean, come on, it wasn't even us. It was some weirdo in PR. What do you want? An apology?
What's up, guys? It's your boy, Benny. Johnny Cash once sang, I went down, down, down into a burning ring of fire. It burns, 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 and the flames, they went higher. Johnny Cash was describing his drug abuse problem and his relationship problem at the time, but he may have been also describing Bud Light's issues with the American people. I thought this was a very interesting article here. CBS News asking, what is America's favorite music genre? Well, based on the Grammys or Hollywood, you'd assume that it would be rap, hip.
Do not base it on that. It's
based on the Grammys or Hollywood, you'd assume that it would be rap, hip-hop, maybe pop. Nope. Actually, it's country. Country and rock are America's favorite music genres, according to a recent CBS News poll. Country, of course, leading 21% of poll respondents saying that country music is their favorite type of music, followed by popular music and rock and roll, 18 and 14%, classical, 10%. Good for them. Good for them. Hip-hop and rap is only 7%. And then Christian gospel music is 5%. So you probably shouldn't piss off the most popular, prominent, famous, richest, powerful music base and music industry, beer buying music industry. But of course, Bud Light did. Bud Light decided to spit in the faces of the consumers of American culture and the paying customers, and now they're being spit back upon. Country music star Brantley Gilbert rejects Bud Light tossed to him on stage, says, F that. Brantley Gilbert did not want to drink a Bud Light tossed to him on stage. He smashed the beer, according to this now viral tweet. Even though Brantley Gilbert doesn't drink anymore, his reaction to someone throwing him a Bud Light was awesome. Coors Light, according to the... There you go.
You ain't got a hair on your ass if you don't shot like that, son of a bitch.
Listen to people cheer.
course he's got a knife.
He doesn't.
So he shotguns the beer, and that was a Coors Light.
Yeah.
Brantley Gilbert smashed the Bud Light, and the crowd goes wild. Brantley Gilbert is a very famous artist. He has Dirty
awesome.
South merch here on his website, and he's doing a big old tour. Maybe I'll check him out when he comes to Tampa on the 29th of July. This is not the only individual who has huge fame in the country music scene and who is insulting openly Bud Light in their decision to sabotage and betray their customer base. Country star Riley Green cheered for dropping Bud Light lyrics from hit song. The 34-year-old country music star drew cheers from his Nashville audience on Friday when he dropped the Embattled Brews songs from a lyric. The lyric talks about his grandfather. I wish Grandpa never died. Instead of singing "and coolers never run out of cold Bud Light," he belted out "the coolers never run out of cold Coors Light." Green, who won the Academy of Country Music named New Male Artist of the Year in 2019, went viral with his shout out to Coors. Thanks for knowing your audience, Riley Green. Good for him. He can say and sing whatever he wants. First Amendment, what up?
Every room's made copperhead. Coolers never run out. No
Here's Riley Green's website. He's on tour as well.
Damn.
He's also coming to Tampa. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are looking at, of course, societal
Everybody has
collapse
seen this
for the
Love
Bud Light
it.
brand, and we have a lot of examples of that. Of course, one of the biggest country music stars in history, rock and country music. Remember, we showed you the poll that said that rock and country music are favorites
Comics
of the American people.
hilarious.
The vast plurality of individuals name rock and country music as their favorite types of music. That's like 50% of the country. Kid Rock, who is emblematic of both genres, shoots up Bud Light cans with a rifle to protest Dylan Mulvaney. So Kid Rock kicked it off, but man, he's not going to finish it. Nashville country star John Rich, who owns a bunch of bars in
John
Nashville.
Rich, that's our
Some of
guy
the most
right there.
profitable and powerful bars in Nashville. Redneck Riviera is one of them.
Yep.
He pulls Bud Light from his popular Redneck Riviera bar, saying the customer is just not ordering it. Top selling brand. We got cases and cases sitting out back. John Rich, of course, a country music star in his own right. John Rich owns the biggest house in Nashville. John Rich is a deeply successful individual. And he's not selling Bud Light anymore. Bud Light is getting trolled by their rivals.
Yes,
Yingling.
Yuengling.
Yingling Beer trolls Bud Light with tweets celebrating it as the oldest brewery in America. Family owned and operated. It is actually Pennsylvania beer, but also very, very good beer. But Yingling is simply talking for a huge portion of the American population that is looking for an alternative to Bud Light. You can check out images like this.
I mean, look at that. Whatever was on the other side. Oh well. Bud Light. Ugh. With their little Go Hogs or whatever that is, because it's
That have gone since
Razorbacks.
hugely viral. This is from an Arkansas Razorbacks, and scenes like this at sporting events across the country. Bud Light may literally go out of business. Look at this. Cooler full of Bud Light, Miller Lite completely empty, assuming there were maybe some Coors Light cans here. I'm a fan of Coors Light. My DMs and my mentions are just filled with people talking about this is a guy who went to a Dallas Stars game and Bud Light got booed. This is an individual who has been speaking with beer salesmen across the country. They can't move their product at all. Another DM from a guy who works at Costco.
okay. Just want to mention, Michelob is actually under the same frickin' umbrella European European company that, I mean, they've got like a huge swath of all of it, and Michelob is one of them.
That they have to swap out their Bud Light for Michelob? It goes on and it goes on and it goes on. Anecdotal evidence now. We have to wait to see the value and the damage from our boycott in the quarterly earnings. It'll probably take 2 quarterly earnings for Bud Light. So we have to keep up the pain. This is our moment. We will nuke this brand. We will bring down a giant. And then they will never, ever be able to spit in our faces again.
Look at those friggin' numbers, you guys. Overall, 40%. With just 4% not sure. That's stupid. But obviously, you can see 18 to 39 are freaking duh. 40 to 64 and 65 plus. 40 to 64 is their main freaking demographic. Sorry. It was up here, it just wasn't coming out. But 53% says less. I love it. I saw this on Twitter and I was like, yes!
This is how it works. This is how war works. Fight. Like our society depends on it. And it does, by the way. This is what pain looks like. This is Rasmussen reports 40 to 64. This is the age range of the 40 to 64-year-old. This is presumably the heaviest Bud Light audience and Budweiser product audience, because you have like the working class, middle-aged white guy, trucker from the Midwest or the South. 53% said they are less likely to purchase Bud Light because they partner with Dylan Mulvaney. You want to know what brand suicide looks like? It looks like this. And now you have presidential candidates or presumed presidential candidates on our show, actually, Ron DeSantis, saying, nope, not gonna drink Bud Light anymore, not gonna drink Budweiser anymore. Done. We are done as customers. So
They better leave the frickin' Clydesdales alone, though. Leave them Clydesdales alone, people.
It's gotten completely national, political, cultural. Country music stars are smashing their bottles of Bud, changing the lyrics to their songs. And it's inconceivable. I've never seen damage done to a brand like this. This is brand suicide. I hope it was worth it for the CIA operatives who run Budweiser. You done us wrong. And now you're gonna pay. As you should. Fighting to save America, right alongside you. It's your boy Benny. See ya. Thank you.
See you, Benny. So, yeah, there's that. Ugh. Wait. Did you just say Dylan... He has a tampon ad? I thought I heard something about that, but I thought it was bullshit. That's an actual thing? Wait a minute. That's an actual thing, Queenie? Unbelievable. That is just... Papa. Well, at least it, at least it finally went out there. I thought that there would be more people here because I put it out on Twitter, but maybe next week there'll be more folks. But that's funny. You just got the notification, so. Oh, Tampax. Retards. Ugh. Just wow. And that's a valid question, Iron Comics. Why does a grown-ass man pretending to be a 12-year-old girl get a tampon ad? 'Cause makes no sense to me. Hey, Mel! It's all right. You're here. If you want, you can pop it in Discord or something on either Chill Rocks or the other one. Yes, Shiloh. That was I think Riley Green that did that, yeah. That was his song that said that. Mel's here, yay. Brantley. Dang it. Comics. Who was it? So Riley Green, but the one Shiloh needs to know the guy beforehand, and the only thing that's coming to me is Brantley. Gilbert. Brantley Gilbert. Took me a second. All right. So, some of you guys... Is that what I said? Brantley Gilbert? Gilbert. Some of you guys possibly have seen this, but freaking Benny's awesome, so I tagged him. Maybe he'll see it, because his shit's awesome. He's hilarious.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Benny. In response to betraying the morality and hard work and common sense and biological reality of their hardworking customers, Bud Light put out an ad. That's right, an ad from about a week ago talking about how great America is. See this horse? It's running through a field, and it is running through the dust. Part of this ad, I'm not going to play it for you because it's so cringe, it's been ratioed into absolute oblivion, straight to the pit of hell. Look, it's running through St. Louis. Please don't get shot, horse. This thing is a 5-to-1 to 6-to-1 ratio here is what they're working on. Part of it, they talk about bravery and service in standing for something. That's what this ad says. Okay?
I didn't even watch the ad.
What we found very interesting about this is that, of course...
You guys, this is freaking... Wow.
Course, it's a lie, because when given an opportunity to correct the record here and say, we're sorry for using Dylan Mulvaney and partnering with him and paying him your hard-earned cash with this brand that is made for white working class, Southern, Midwest dudes and country music fans, we're sorry for betraying you. Instead of saying that, and we'll never do it again, and we fired everyone who was part of this campaign, and here's all their scalps, here's their names, never hire these people. No, instead we got this mewling non-apology from a guy named Brendan Whitworth. So we went through and we found out who Brendan Whitworth is. This is the CEO of Anheuser-Busch. This is the guy who presumably approved of that, I'm sorry advertisement from Budweiser. Talking about how you have to be brave and stand for something. Well, Brendan Whitworth, he stands for the CIA, which is where he worked for 5 years.
Counterterrorism.
He worked at the CIA as a CIA operative. Hey, guys, I think I found the problem. Budweiser, the CEO of Budweiser is CIA operative. Okay. The interesting part about his LinkedIn, after I screenshotted it, is that it was deleted. Page not found.
He deleted it.
Well, that's interesting. Seems like Mr. Brendan Whitworth himself is not brave or standing for something because he deleted his LinkedIn. Now, that's also what happened to Alyssa Heinerstein, the vice president of marketing that hates Budweiser customers
Horseface.
because they're fratty and out of touch. You can't click on her LinkedIn either. Look at this. Alyssa Heinerstein LinkedIn. Oh, something went wrong. They've deleted their accounts. These people who demand your loyalty can't even withstand the LinkedIn community, which, by the way, is like the most polite, narcissistic, navel-gazing community where successful people go to be told by other successful people, so-called, that they're very special and important and snowflakes. This is like as hard as you get in the comment section. 7 months later, and the brands Anheuser-Busch and Bud Light are destroyed. Well done in record time. Oh, it's glorious. But you can't click on her LinkedIn because it's deleted, because these cowards delete their LinkedIns as soon as we find them. Luckily for us, of course, when we first covered this story and first broke the news that he had deleted his LinkedIn, we had a indexed version of his LinkedIn that we were able to sort of like keep up. Right? So they weren't able to delete the active page that we currently had. And so this is what Brendan Whitworth didn't want you to see on his LinkedIn. What didn't he want you to see? Well, he didn't want you to see From CIA to Beer, the article that he has, first article that he has, proud of himself. This is that article. From CIA to Beer, Brendan Whitworth's path to the Anheuser-Busch. He was trying to get into graduate school.
The other thing, I think this jackass was a frickin' Marine. I'm not sure. But I think he was.
Taking his tests between duties at the Central Intelligence Agency. Anyone who tells you, anyone who knows anything about the CIA knows that once you're in the CIA, you're never out of the CIA. They are a very, very
there
dark
it is right there, former
and
Marine.
evil organization. Brendan Whitworth will be a CIA asset forever. So Brendan Whitworth didn't want you to see that. He didn't want you to see that he was bragging about COVID-19 vaccination and Anheuser-Busch pushing sustainability, all DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion crap. World Economic Forum crap. Oh, World Economic Forum brought to you by Anheuser-Busch. Did you know that? They're donors. So Brendan Whitworth didn't want you, of course, to see his CIA clandestine service, specializing in the recruitment and handling of human sources. Oh, okay. Got it. Recruiting and handling of human sources. Oh, interesting. So how's Brendan handling all this? Again, you can go into the Wayback Machine. You can find the archive, essentially, of Brendan's scrubbed LinkedIn. So these people are cowards and they're frauds, which is worse than being a coward, being a fraud. They demand that you stand for something and that their beer stands for something and that we all be brave together and march on together as America, and they can't even keep their LinkedIns up.
I'm going to be honest. I know Marines, and all the Marines I know would not. They would all, I'm sure they would all disavow him because that's bullshit. I don't know, but I have a feeling.
It's very interesting, however, because as I was tweeting about this, somebody noticed that after 1 week, Brendan Whitworth has reactivated his LinkedIn. So after a special scrubbing of Brendan Whitworth's LinkedIn, you can see that it is now reactivated. But with various comments turned off and with various comments scrubbed. So this is what I find very, very interesting. So we went through, it still has the CIA. So this is now the current version of Brendan Whitworth's LinkedIn. It still has the CIA operator, CIA agent operator stuff on there. But what he's doing now is he's deleting comments. So you can see the difference between this version and this version. Here's, proud to work alongside you, Lindsay. Grateful for you and the team do. For all you and the team do. Oh. Brendan Whitworth commented on a post. What would that post be? I can't click on it because we'd lose the page forever, but this is what Brendan Whitworth, they're scrubbing comments. This is what should be the second comment. It's no longer the second comment. So they're scrubbing his comments. Now the next thing is something he reposted 12 months. So they're going through and they're scrubbing his comments. Check this out. We talked about creating a future with more cheers. And we mean a future where everybody has a seat at the table and feels valued. Spoken like a true CIA agent. It was my pleasure to join Women in Beer. The women that have deleted their Instagrams. Okay. So stunning and so brave. Also, they've turned off the comments. Comments have been turned off on this post. You can still react or share it. Oh, look at that.
Hold on. Comics. Tampons were invented in World War I to stick into bullet holes? In people? I need to look that up because that's hilarious, if that's true. But, and honestly, I think I can believe that now because super glue was originally for a medical reason, for suturing or gluing shut cuts and stuff.
So again, they're demanding us as the American people be brave and buy their beer, which nobody is doing. But they can't even withstand some mean comments on LinkedIn. LinkedIn. Got it. Okay. This is why you're going to get ratioed. This is why you're going to get ratioed into the sun. If you go ahead and click this button, it's funny. You can see the replies that they hid. No one should drink your crappy product.
Joe Biden shower head? What?
New Budweiser Clydesdale. Budweiser. They hid these. These are the ones that Budweiser hid. Budweiser replaces Clydesdale with cows dressed as horses. Oh, it's so funny. So they're hiding Photos of Dylan Mulvaney? Well, that's interesting. I'd rather drink piss than this woke. The new queen of beers. There you go. They demand that you be strong. Wow. They demand that you be brave. Yeah, right. But not them. Coward.
Wow. Shiloh, that is dangerous. You wonder if super glue would work for a DIY facelift? I don't know about fun, but agreed, any band. Theoretically, it probably would work, but oh, Queenie, you that jackass is saying that he can have a period? On what fucking So no. Dang it, comics. You threw me off with the only if you get it in your eye. That was evil. But seriously, I am sick of the appropriation. I am sick of Dylan Mulvaney and his stupidity. And on top of that, that jackass actually went on the other jackasses. What the hell was that? What's that dumbass's name? Oh, boy. I'm not playing it because I'm not giving that little bitch any kind of frickin' no. Marsh. The Marsh guy. The creepy ass one that has the Patreon for kids so they can talk privately. Fuck that. It's not on there. Holy shit! Dylan Mulvaney has a friggin' YouTube account. And he has 21.9 thousand subscribers. Oh. Where is that? Jeffrey Marsh, that's his name. That's the jackass's name. Jeffrey Marsh, the creepy frickin' groomer extraordinaire that is like just ugh. Oh, Shiloh! I have to find that there was a meme of someone tossing a toaster into Mulvaney's bathwater. That's terrible, but funny. Excellent mental picture. Comics, I didn't go in that direction. Mine is not in the gutter. Poopy head. And Annie Band, I agree. We all earned our wrinkles. So, yeah, I've found a lot more white hairs too. Yikes. It's Shiloh's snort. Oh, good grief. Well, Jeffrey Marsh. Jeffrey Marsh is the jackass's name. Jeffrey. Yes, comics. I agree. That pedophile needs to be things that we can't say on YouTube. You are right. There's a lot of stuff we can't say on YouTube. So I'm recording this, and then I'm going to upload it on Rumble. That's what I'm going to start doing now. I linked Rumble and this so that whenever I post on YouTube, it'll automatically post on Rumble. I believe that's how it works. So, I'm not... Any band. Censorship. Out the ass, man. Ugh. I just... Ugh. Anyway. On that note, I am shocked that his nibs wasn't standing in the doorway barking for me to get off, because it's 7:01, and y'all know He starts at like... Glad you caught up, Shiloh. Sorry. Duke's usually standing in the doorway barking at me to get off the computer because he wants his CBD. Oh, jeez. So, on that note, I'm going to go ahead and first off, I want to thank every single one of you for taking time out of your day or evening, as the case might be, to be here and watch my dumbass. I appreciate it. And phrasing. Huh? Any band, I don't know if I want to know the answer to that. Don't tell me. Don't say it. Comics, any band took me off track that time. That was him. The girls are laying like this next to each other. Penny's got her butt on Callie, basically. Aw, girls. Oh. Give Penny her medication. That's my reminder. Yes, my brain and my memory is that bad. My memory is that bad that I have to have the reminder on there or I'll forget. Because I'll just be doing something and it's like having blinders on and I can't. Not that I can't. What the hell? Maybe I'm just going to have to put some fucking oxygen on next time so I don't start yawning at you guys again. This has been happening for a while for anybody that hasn't been here for a live yet. But yep, girls are sleeping. Got to give Penny her meds. Got to give Duke his CBD or he's going to have a fit. Well, he won't have a fit, but he will voice his displeasure very loudly. Thank you for spending some time with me. Spent an hour with me, you guys. Crazy. You guys crazy. Thank you. I appreciate it. And I will always appreciate it because time is your most precious, precious resource in your life. And you spent time with me and it means a lot. So thank you very much. And I hope to see you next Thursday. 6 Mountain, 7 Central, 8 Eastern. See you guys.